Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is it. This is the finale. It was 2 hours this evening. Season 1 of Empire. It has gone by so fast. I was really excited about the show and the show coming on and all that kind of thing. I didn't know whether I was going to like it or not. Well, I absolutely ended up loving the show. Very familiar with Terrence Howard. I'm very familiar with Taraji P. Henson. Was not huge fans of theirs. Knew them, knew their work. I have a whole new respect for the both of them. It's crazy. In just these few weeks, that Taraji, quit your playing. She really did bring that Cookie to life. Cookie is absolutely still my favorite character from this program. The cast, just ridiculous. And I say all that to say I'm going to go ahead and review. I hope you're a fan of the show because it's going to be longer than my normal videos because there's just so much to talk about. You all know I love Lee Daniels and the way he does things. So that was the driving force that brought me to the program, was that Lee Daniels was doing it. And whatever it was going to be, I knew it would be very unapologetic, which is the way I write and the way I like to see things take place on my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Just roll with me because there's a lot. Okay, so we come in. Lucius is actually working on a composition and he's stuck. And he knows that the only way to really get himself from being stuck is what? Cookie. It's what she does. You know, he gets stuck, she breezes by in Cookie fashion and throws something out at him that triggers something, and then shit works because that's what she does. He doesn't know where she is. Well, you all remember in the last episode, toward the end, she told Malcolm to take me somewhere where it could be just you and I, because she's ready to give him that box. That's what that was all about. So she basically did actually go. They went to Berkshire up to a cabin that a friend of his had, and that's where he was actually going to be spending time with my Cookie. And just very interesting. Very interesting. But he gets her up there to the cabin. Beautiful cabin. There's snow and shit everywhere. He's talking about making a snowman. You know, Cookie wasn't feeling that shit. So she's in there, working everything. And it doesn't take very long before he decides that they're going to get down. He's asking her some different questions. And Cookie, he asked her, was she nervous? Cookie said, she tried to play big time. You know, Cookie, she's hard. But she basically came out and told him, I've never been with another man other than Lucius. He told her, you know what? It's okay. We can go as fast, take it as fast as you want because you're in control. So they're sitting there. She starts undressing him. And they just crescendo right on over into John Legend's song that Made to Love. You know, I love that damn John Legend. John Legend got a way of getting your damn clothes off of you. But anyway, they went into that, baby, and he punished Miss Cookie's box, okay? So I was like, y'all better go on and get on down. I said, go on, Cookie! Lord have mercy. So then we go back. The whole thing is Lucius is back there. He's still looking for Cookie, having a fit, being mean to people, carried on. Got Becky looking for her. The whole thing is he's trying to write a song to sing. He wants to perform the song himself because he has it in his mind. This is going to be his last performance before he cashes in his chips and leaves the casino. So, was what it was. Malcolm also told Cookie while they were up there that Camilla never took the money that Lucius tried to give her. So at this point, you know, with that last day, everybody was pissed off with Lucius. Everybody's mad at Lucius. He really could not get it together. So he's going back and forth, around and around. He has this male nurse now. And the male nurse was really paying a lot of attention to the symptoms and things that Lucius is having. And you hear him say at one point, this double vision and stuff, that's not an ALS trait. So he's been going around really studying everything. And I'm like, okay, well, he seemed very attentive, whatever. So next we move on. We got this whole little press conference going on. And it's introducing Snoop Dogg and his new song. And did you all hear whenever Snoop, because Snoop ended up performing later on that day, did you all hear the Charlie Wilson's voice in the background? There's like a little riff that I swear was Charlie Wilson at the end of this, the end of Snoop's piece of the song. Whatever. But anyway, Snoop had his nephew. His nephew flipped this drum upside down. He beating the hell out of this drum. And then they had Hakeem come on and he performed freestyle. Oh boy. So, Hakeem was still pissed off with Lucius from the whole Camilla thing. In the midst of him performing, he goes on and reveals that he's leaving Empire to go with, well, the words that he used. He said something about Lucius, something about he can't keep his family together and something or other. And then he said, and I'm leaving with your bitch, which meant that he was leaving Lucius and going with Creedmoor with Anika. So we're like, okay, this is interesting. And then in the background again, that damn nephew of Snoop says, oh, Lucius, I ain't got nothing to do with that, brother Lucius. I was like, shut the hell up. But it was a mess. They come out in the hallway because he thought he really said something smart. It was embarrassing for Lucius, in front of all those people. Goes out there in the back, leaving, and he stops him. He's like, Hakeem. He stopped, and then he just knocked the fucking shit out of him. He punched him right in the face, just decked him, knocked him down on the floor. Jamal got up and spit on the floor in front of Lucius, and Lucius just looked at him and straightened up his tie and went on. I was like, Lord, he done knocked the damn boy with the big shoes the hell on out. Horrible. So after that, Jamal tries talking Hakeem into not leaving, and he's just all pissed off, and he's saying that he's going to do it. Lucius is still running around trying to find Cookie that next day. He rolls up on that goddamn Fantasia lookalike, that damn Portia. That bitch just slipped up and told Lucius where Cookie was all weekend, that she had gone to Berkshire. He already knew that Malcolm had gone to Berkshire for the weekend, so he put the shit together. Cookie shows up later on at the office with her sister Carol, and she's showing off, telling her, yeah, girl, look at all this, girl. Yeah, and this security system, girl, yeah, my man done put all this in, girl, we got to keep that on the low, this, that, the other. She's just bragging, Cookie. Goes up in there. Next thing you know, Cookie tried to swipe her card, baby, and it gave her access denied. She rolled through any old way. They stop her, take her card. Lucius, she said, you go get Lucius and bring him on down here. She brings Lucius down. Lucius basically lets her know what she been doing and that she needs to leave. She's being escorted from the premises and told him, you're sad. She said, you're sad. You're jealous after all the shit you done done to me. You're jealous? He's like, yeah, whatever. Told her, you're not, she said, I'm on the board of directors. She said, no, you're really not. You can't be on the board because you're an ex-convict. Ex-felon or a convicted felon, and you can't serve on the board of any publicly traded business, so you're not on the board. He put her ass out, and she yelled at him and carried on and called him a bitch, but it didn't matter. That ass was still leaving. I said, I can't go to my office? Hell no, goodbye, get out of here. So now we're talking about Andre, because Andre ain't never came back. Andre tried to get dressed and go back to work, but he just couldn't pull himself together to do it. Jennifer Hudson and basically told Jennifer Hudson's character, Michelle, she done taught him how to pray. And he done made the decision that he wants to give himself over to the Lord and be done with all this other stuff. So that's that. They end up giving Cookie 15 minutes to clean out her office. Malcolm came in. Malcolm lets Cookie know that Lucius didn't fire him. That he's like, it is what it is, but she wouldn't be here. So she got pissed. She's like, so I do 17 years. Nobody can forgive me, but you get to stay. So he told her, I took a job over in D.C. and I make enough and I want you to come with me. I want to take care of you. I'm like, Malcolm, yes, God, we like Malcolm. But Cookie wouldn't go. She won't go. She said, no, I can't go. So I was like, damn, Cookie. You know, so that was that. Andre and Lucius get together and they're talking. Lucius went out to the church where Andre was at. He's talking to him and everything. And Andre told him, he said he quits. He doesn't want to be bothered. He doesn't want to be CFO. He doesn't want to be bothered with it at all. That there's a higher purpose. And he wants to go and, you know, seek his time with the Lord. That damn Lucius got issues. Lucius has real issues. As far as I really noticed this in this episode, he really thinks he is God. He really does. He made a comment. He said, there's no higher purpose than being a maker of music. That is the voice of God. So he had this whole thing going. And he's like, you know, yeah, whatever. That's all nice. Lucius ends up seeing them when they're walking through the church. He sees the interaction between Michelle and Andre. And he sees that Andre's nose is really wide open, okay? So he looks and he says, okay. He said, you know what? Okay, I see now. I see what's going on. He said, let's see who's more powerful, your father or your God. He goes over and he's talking to Michelle and he's telling her, because she was singing, and J Hud was singing her goddamn face off throughout this whole episode, singing her face off. But he says, Ava put on this whole act. It was horrible. This whole act of, oh, it's the best voice I ever heard. Threw back some tears and everything. And told her he wants to make an album with her and wants her to sing gospel and all this here. And, you know, she just fell right into it and everything. And Andre told her, you know, my dad is the devil. You know, and she's saying something or other. And he's like, no. You know, when God throws these things at you, you have to actually jump at him, this, that, and the other. He told that bitch, you just open your legs for the devil. I was like, okay, Andre. All right, here we go. Okay, switch it back. In the midst of all of this stuff that was going on, the male nurse was the shit because he ends up figuring out, they order some more tests, figures out Lucius doesn't have ALS at all. He has what's called MG, which is treatable. He fired the doctor, the female doctor he's working with, fired her right on the spot. You know, said, you know, I went through all this and for nothing, basically. Got rid of her ass. It's like, all right, cool. So that was that. And again, thinking really that he is God. Now, I mean, it's just more things piling on to making him think that he's immortal. And he's just buying into his own hype, really. And I started seeing a different side of Lucius. You know, because he makes you hate him. You know what I mean? But there's something there. Lucius, he's different. Anyway, Jamal and Lucius. He breaks out. He's starting to try to manipulate again. Okay? So he's trying to get himself closer to Jamal and all of this. So, and then also trying to see how far will Jamal go. Okay? Because he done already lost Andre and he done lost Hakeem. So Jamal's all that's left. So, you know you can't get Jamal without Cookie, right? So he's trying to manipulate things and trying to kind of turn, just a little bit, turn Jamal away from Cookie, okay? So they go through all this, and he goes with the writer block. They go out to the original house where they lived, so Jamal could try to help him get out of this block. He was still just making like little shady comments, like he said, well, at least you walk like a man, you know, and then he said, what do you bring me here for? You want me to throw you in the garbage again? You know, just smart shit. But anyway, all of those stuff is still in the house. They ended up going back and forth. Lucius got on the guitar. Jamal got on the keyboard. Now, it started off being, you know, it's kind of like this competition thing. And it's crazy because in this instance, they started going back and forth. And they literally are channeling each other because they are so much alike. They're so much alike that it's scary. The two of them actually kind of made me cry. But that was fine, you know. You know what I mean? Anyway. So they go through that whole thing. The song that they were doing, it was the shit. They did the shit out of it. That damn, because, well, you know, Terrence Howard played the hell out of a goddamn guitar anyway. So him on that guitar and the damn keyboard with Jesse on there, it was ridiculous. It really was. It was just ridiculous. So, in the midst of all that, Lucius puts Cookie back on the production of the concert, okay? Because that was one of the stipulations of Jamal. He's pep talking Jamal about keeping Beretti away from Empire. So he's telling him all this stuff. Beretti actually has all of the masters for Lucius's old songs. So he was telling him about how, you can't let anybody take anything from you, or you're not going to have anything. So he goes with all that. And he's really what he's doing is trying to see how far will Jamal go. Well, Jamal went further than he thought he would go. Jamal ended up going, sent the text to Cookie because Hakeem was on his way to Beretti to try to sign over to Beretti. Jamal's on his way to do whatever. Well, when he get there, Jamal goes, sees Beretti, starts talking to Beretti. Beretti's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's like, can we talk? So next thing you know, Jamal got Beretti's ass hemmed up, hanging over the goddamn balcony, okay, and telling them, I have these papers in my bag. You're going to sign these contracts over to give the masters back to Lucius. Period. So when they bust up in there, because before they left, they busted up in there, and that damn Cookie had told him when she found out, she's like, what is going on? Lucius ain't tell her everything. And she's like, you better not let nothing happen to my babies or whatever. So they get there. Lucius got everybody's all backed up. And he's like, he left Jamal out there with him hanging over the thing. Told Jamal, take care of that. Jamal was like, you go get Hakeem. And we're going to be up out of here. Baby, when he goes to find Hakeem, he's looking around. He pulls these little things. Honey, Hakeem is in there fucking Miss Anika. Now, how long has Boo Boo Kitty been fucking the baby? Or was this new for today? A mess. I said, no, the little boy with the big shoes ain't over there poking the stepmother. Where they do that at? Child, Anika seen Lucius, and Lucius looking at her. Hakeem looking at him. She takes Hakeem's face and turns his face back toward her baby and start bumping on the meat, honey. I said, oh my. She continued right on fucking him. Just as nice. I said, oh my. That was a hot mess. That part I said, oh, y'all doing too much here. Way, way too much. So he's basically really lost Hakeem for the most part. Hakeem is just pissed. So also there was a whole little thing they were talking about, this new medication for Lucius. See, I told you there's so much. There's this new medication, and he was telling Lucius, the medication is going to do some, you'll do some hallucination, and you're going to do some insomnia. So it's like, okay, cool, whatever. So he takes the medication. He's laying there. Okay, now this is going to be kind of confusing. Well, I'm trying to make it where it's not confusing, but there was a whole lot going on. And I said, I can't wait to see what people have to say about this. Because we got Jennifer Hudson in the background. She's singing the hell out of a gospel song. Okay, so in the midst of this, they're showing where everybody's at. So we show Lucius sleep on the meds, hallucinating at the same time about Bonky. Bonky's sitting on the bed, and Lucius is telling him all about, you can't get me, Bonky, this, that, thing, and the other, on and on and on. And there was all this talk. But he's speaking out loud. Cookie's in the room. Cookie's hearing it. So she hears him admit to killing Bonky. While this is going on, Jennifer's still singing her face off in the background during this little segment. You got Jamal screwing Ryan stretched out on the table. I said, oh, the church people will love this one. But he had them baby spread eagle out on one of the desks, letting his box have it. Then you got Hakeem laying up with Anika, And she was so not into it. She's just like laying there. And Hakeem, he falling in love because he love an old motherfucking purse. So he's falling in love, it looked like, with his stepmother. And I just got tickled because Jennifer was singing the fuck out of this gospel song while all of this motherfucking treachery was going on. I loved it. But anyway, so that damn Cookie, in the midst of all this, she done got mad and she done contemplated smothering Lucius with this pillow. So that was a whole big mess, but he grabbed her arm, right before she was getting ready to do his ass in. So anyway, next day, I guess the next day or a couple days later, he has them all into this meeting. And he has these gifts for them. So the three boys are sitting at the end of the table. And he gives these things to them and then starts to talk to them about different things. He starts with Hakeem. He gives Hakeem a pair of gold wings. It's like a necklace with gold wings. And tells him, you know what? Apologizing to him about everything. And he told him, I'm giving you a private jet. And I'm giving you creative freedom over your projects because don't ever let anybody try to control you again. Then he tells Andre, he gave him a cross and told him that's the Lion of Judah. He's going to give him that to do a charity, a religious charity, and he'll oversee it. He'll have $100 million at his disposal. And he said, I tried to break your faith. And for that, I apologize. So he's doing all this. Next, he tells Jamal he's a successor. He gives him this staff and tells him, Empire's yours. You will be the next person after I pass. And then he tells him that he doesn't have ALS and that he's not dying. So he has another gift. Cookie comes in. He tells Cookie, come on, and shows her little box. And before I even say this, well, no, I'm going to go on. He gives her box. In her box, there's a pillow. And she knew exactly what the fuck that meant. And he looks at her, she looks at them. That's where they go into the second hour. Okay, so at that point, he's like pissed off. And he said to her, checkmate, bitch. And had her escorted out. And Jamal's like, what the hell's going on? This, that, thing, and the other. You double-crossed me. You told me Cookie could still do the production and this, that, and the other. And her name would be in the front of the program, blah, 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 blah. He said, that's before I seen this. He shows the video, because he has cameras everywhere now. Shows the video of Cookie getting ready to smother his ass. So, slowly but surely, trying to turn Jamal against Cookie. Rita Ora was actually going to be one of the guests for the concert. And she actually ended up pulling out. Due to, she's seen Cookie, and when Cookie left and Cookie wasn't going to be involved, Rita pulled out. Lucius put Michelle, Jennifer Hudson's character, in that spot to sing his song, If It Makes You Happy, with Juicy J. So that was real interesting. I was like, okay, cool with that. And then they started having this here press conference. Okay, this press conference was right before the concert went down. Like a day or so before. In the midst of the press conference, this guy named Black Rambo, he's a rapper, and that he comes down and acted a fool. Created a whole scene, talk about a fag running Empire, this, that, and the other, and everybody, all the MCs should get up and leave, and this, that, and the other. So Jamal decides to tear his ass up. So he goes down to the ghetto. They're having this little rap battle. Black Rambo just sat somebody down and said, is there anybody else ready to get some of this, that, and the other? So Jamal's like, what about me? He gonna tell me, oh yeah, homeboy, you don't want this. You don't want it. He's like, yeah, I do. So he goes in, he raps it. It was real corny what he had to say. Jamal basically sang what he had to say and let Black Rambo have it. He let him have it. And he sang all this stuff. Then he got up in that damn falsetto and called him a bitch at the end. It was hilarious. I loved it. Hilarious. So that all went down. In the midst of this, let's see. Try not to forget anything, y'all. Jamal promoted Becky to A&R. Okay, so she done moved up. He was actually sitting with the brothers, and the brothers are just not gelling. They're not. They're jealous, and they're not gelling. Lucius went and got Vernon out of the rehab. So he gets Vernon out of rehab, and he got him running around trailing Cookie. Cookie got snatched up by the feds the same day that they put her out of, that same day when they gave her a pillow and put her out. The feds snatched her up, get her down there, tell her they're going after Lucius. They got information and they need her to testify. She's like, I don't know nothing. Wasn't getting in it. She don't know nothing. So that was that. They're going after him for the bonky. Okay, so in the midst of all of that happening, Andre, Rhonda left Andre. She said, she was pissed off. She's jealous of Michelle and the relationship between him and Michelle. And also the fact that she said, you just lost Empire without a fight. Like that was anything that even had anything to do or anything that he could actually do. Just ridiculous. So everybody's again running around all pissed off. So here we go at this here concert. Well, before we get to the concert, the next thing that happened was the two, Andre, Hakeem, have gotten together and enlisted Cookie because they want to stage a hostile takeover. They went to see this guy named Tricky Trickster, white guy, and he's a master of doing a hostile takeover of the business, and his grandson's a rapper. So they were saying, if you could produce my grandson, and all that, then I'll help you all to do it. So he went and he told them everything. He was like, the best way to do it is to find your CEO in the midst of a scandal. And then you can replace the whole board of directors. And he's a master of this shit, okay? So they had to bring Anika in because Anika was the one who actually had the connection to him. In the midst of the little meeting when Andre, Hakeem, Anika, and Cookie all got together, that damn Cookie says to Anika, so what is there to stop me from throwing this drink in your face? Cat and fuck Anika up. She threw this drink on her and cold cocked that bitch and turned around and say, hey, she was talking shit. Anika had said nothing to Cookie's ass. I said, work out, Cookie! She fucked Anika up. Turned around there. Next thing you know, Anika grabbed her around the back of her head and they get to tussling. That motherfucker Anika got to giving my Cookie a couple body blows, like, hitting that bitch in her sides. Child Cookie was giving them back, but they was scuffling around with these heels on. And then I was getting kind of worried. I said, now, wait a minute, Cookie. Now, I know you ain't even letting this whore really do you in. That motherfucking Cookie snatched Anika and slung her ass up on the damn pool table, leaped up on the pool table and told her, bitch, I will break your motherfucking neck. And got to choking that bitch out and bamming her head. I said, okay, come on, Cookie. I was getting a little worried, girl. But she fucked Anika's ass up. So they got them to stop fighting and everything and told them, we all need each other to do this now. Shit. So they broke that shit up. Vernon had actually been trailing damn Cookie, too. So that was a mess. But anyway, Cookie and Jamal talked, and they were clearing the air, basically. She was telling them, whatever goes on with me and your dad, that don't have nothing to do with y'all. I told you a long time ago, I got you, this, that, thing, and the other. So he's still staying even skill, like, because it's horrible for him to even think to have to choose between his mother and his father, especially when it's always been nothing from Lucius and always Cookie was in his back. It was sticky. It was real ugly. And I went through a ton of different emotions watching this. But anyway, so that was that. They got all that together. So basically, Andre, Hakeem, Cookie, and Anika, they're all in to do what it is that they're trying to do to take Lucius down. So, okay. Next big thing. Andre's at home. Vernon comes to Andre. Vernon wants to pick up basically where they left off with his shady bullshit. Andre's not going for it. Andre don't want to fool with Vernon no more. They got to fighting. Really fighting, tearing up Andre's apartment. And they fighting and shit. And the next thing you know, here come Rhonda back in the midst of the fight. Vernon got Andre down, banging the shit out of him. That bitch took a, looked like a candle holder or something, or like a candelabra, and gave him clack over his head. And then she's like, baby, are you okay? This, that, the other. No, he ain't okay. Vernon was whooping that ass. But anyway, so they're talking and everything. And next thing you know, you look over, there's like a pool of blood there. Goddamn, Rhonda done killed that motherfucking Vernon. She killed his ass with that damn candlestick. His ass was done. So Andre's like, we got to call the police. And she's like, no. She's like, well, it was self-defense. She's like, no, but they may not see it that way, this, that, the other. The only way she could stop him was to tell him that she was pregnant. And she's pregnant. So it stopped him. Child, at that point, that was that. They went down the next day, Wall Street. They pushed the button. The IPO is in. They've been looking for that damn Vernon. Can't nobody find Vernon. And they're going on with this business. Cookie wouldn't turn on Lucius at all. She gave the feds absolutely nothing. Bitch was clean to the motherfucker in this red lace gown at the concert. Clean, okay, Miss Cookie. And they're doing the performances. Everything's going real good. J Hud killed it again during the concert. Now you got Jamal and Lucius having a heart-to-heart, okay? And he basically knows now that he has basically gained his father's love. Right in the midst of all that, honey, when it was right, get ready to get me right there. The feds busted and arrested Lucius for Bonky's murder. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Becky's like, the stocks are plummeting. Everybody's seeing this online. The stocks are plummeting, this, that, and the other. He turns around and says to Cookie, you did this. And Cookie's like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't say anything. I didn't have anything to do with it. So they're going out, and as the one woman who she used to be, she was Cookie's supposed parole officer, she said, where's Vernon? You know what I mean? She needed Vernon. She said he was her star witness. So, boom, we're going into our second season. That motherfucker's going to be looking for Vernon's dead ass, which I never liked that Vernon. He was just too sneaky and clowning for me. But anyway, in the midst of all that, so he tells Jamal, sing our song, son, and do it. Do the hell out of it. He goes on. Right before, I'll go back to it. Anyway, so he told him to sing the song. He's singing the song that him and Lucius was doing. But baby, when he turned it out, pulls Patti LaBelle on stage, and Patti sings it with him, and they killed it. We didn't even want to talk about me and Patti and how I reacted, because you know what happened. Anyway, so it was just, it was too much. Just too much. 2 hours of good shit. See, I didn't even have a whole lot of clowning to do because it was just too much. I screamed, Cookie. You guys know I'm always screaming, Cookie! But it was just so much going on. It was tapping into some places with me because it seems as though it's like Jamal has always only had Cookie in his corner, and now he's questioning his love for Cookie. All about this shit with him and Lucius. Lucius is seeing that Jamal is more like him than he actually thought he was. Jamal is fucking treacherous. He has all the good and all the bad. He got more heart than a little bit. He got the good and the bad, and Lucius is seeing that, and he's like dealing with that. Still got an issue with him being gay, but I see you're just as raggedy as I am. So that's the whole thing. Okay, so here's this other little piece. So how about Lucius Lyon's real name is Dwight Walker, okay? That's his real name, and he became an orphan at 9 years old. He created that persona of Lucius Lyon because that's what he said, I'm immortal, and he knew that Dwight Walker wouldn't make it 2 days in them streets. So that was very, very interesting to find out about Lucius. Made me look at him a whole different way because I really hated Lucius. And after these 2 episodes, I don't hate him. I understand him a little bit better. He's still raggedy, very rough around the edges, but that motherfucker believes in by any means necessary. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I loved it. I absolutely loved this whole season. This is the best series that I have to say that I have actually watched. This and How to Get Away with Murder rank right up there with True Blood for me, because I love True Blood too. True Blood was real hard. You sit and watch True Blood and you were all in good. That's how I feel. And before True Blood came, it's been years and years all the way back to Soul Food. Do you all remember when Soul Food was a series on Showtime? That was good motherfucking shit. This is on that level. Shit that you can't stop watching. So kudos to you, Lee Daniels, goddammit, wherever you are. I enjoyed myself with this, and I cannot wait for this to come back, guys. I enjoyed myself with you all every week, too. I will be right here waiting with my Cookie t-shirt on whenever this gets back to the air, and I'll be right there with my camera going, and I'll be reviewing and screaming, Cookie! All right, guys. You can thumbs up or thumbs down. Thanks for hanging out with me through this whole season, and I will catch up with you guys when we start again. Bye, guys.